The superstars of Monster Jam invade the Los Angeles, California area. Anaheim Stadium ready to rock with the best in racing and awesome freestyle. It's a star-studded lineup, and the fans are ready to rock. Monster Jam is coming your way from Anaheim Stadium, and it's coming up next.
Who's ready for Monster Jam? Hold on, baby! Here goes the camper!
Tom Ment's 7th World Championship. Dennis Anderson is the World Racing Champion. An incredible freestyle coming up here on Monster Jam. Hi again, everyone. I'm Scott Douglas. Welcome to Anaheim Stadium in Southern California, as we're going to see the best freestylers in the world go at it here in just a few moments. But first, it's time to look at the racing bracket in what has been a very competitive night of racing in Anaheim, California. The Maximum Destruction team, led by Neil Elliott, was able to come out as the fastest qualifier, and round after round continue to record victories, including a win over Gravedigger in round number 3. The other half of the bracket, in the other semifinal, it was the Hot Wheels machine knocking off El Toro Loco to set up what should be a dandy matchup between Neil Elliott and Maximum Destruction, the truck that has won 7 world championships, against Frank Kreml, who's been having an awesome season driving the Hot Wheels Ford. And there you get a look at the only truck that's won 7 world championships, Maximum Destruction. Neil Elliott behind the wheel here in Anaheim, and they're looking for green. The green light is on the track, and they blow off the starting line. Slight edge to Max D, but Hot Wheels is hanging in there with him. This has been a tough track all night to get a feel for, as it kind of goes from being loose to being tight. And Neil Elliott is handling it very well as he comes to the finish line first by 2 truck lengths. The victory goes to Maximum Destruction. Scott Rain is going to catch up with our winner.
What an unpredictable track tonight. It looked like you had second place wrapped up in the first turn, but man, what a turn here in turn 2. You were able to pull it off with the win.
Yeah, it's awesome to get to take home this awesome piece of equipment from Bling Star. Them guys are great. All the fans out here, you're why we do what we do. Come out here and just abuse equipment and spend money so all you guys can have a good time.
The Han Marine Monster Truck Racing Finals, the Bling Star Trophy. First thing, you got a phone call to make to the boss, but who's going to get to keep this? You or the boss?
The boss man's pretty cool about that stuff. I'll probably get to put this one in my house.
You got one thing left, man. It's freestyle. This thing's got a reputation. It's got a title to defend.
Oh, we got freestyle left. Like Tom always says, we don't drive a truck. All you people drive a truck. The louder you get, the crazier we're going to get, and that's a guarantee.
Ladies and gentlemen, here one more time for tonight's winner in racing, and the big trophy here by Bling Star. Let's hear it for Neil Elliott and Max D.
Now we will begin that freestyle competition. We started off with a native Californian from about 6 hours north of this stadium in the Watsonville, California area up near San Francisco. It is Kelvin Raymer driving the very uniquely styled Natural High machine. And right off the bat, he goes for a stack made just for freestyle with 2 cars and another one set on top to let him get the sky wheelies they're looking for and get the nose of that truck straight up into this California night. Now in freestyle, you're looking at 3 judges selected from among the fans, each of them with a scorecard that has numbers 1 through 10. Oh, look at this. That's going to get some scores from the judges as he drags the back tail all the way across the floor and does a brilliant job in that slap wheelie. Kelvin Raymer, the truck is called Natural High. But again, the judges will look to score on a basis of 1 to 10. The best score you can get is a score of 30. And Kelvin Raymer has given him a reason to put up some pretty good numbers for him. He's had some spectacular moves. You'd like to see a little more high-speed momentum out of him, but in terms of some wow moments, Natural High has been giving it to the fans here in Anaheim thus far. He's still got 20 seconds. And there, look at him ride that wheelie again, and he drags the tailgate one more time. Nicely done by Kelvin Raymer and Natural High. What a way to start off freestyle. This is a star-studded lineup. Former world champions in the field, and you can see Natural High has put up a good score to start. It's a total of 21 that will give Kelvin Raymer the early lead, and it's kind of thrown the gauntlet down. These other drivers are going to have to be able to top that if they want to get a score better than 21. Another Californian, this one just a couple hours from home down in Bakersfield. It's Pat Gerber in that really wild-looking truck called the Shocker. Now Gerber right off the bat kind of searching for something to hit to get the run started, and that's where you've got to really kind of get focused when you're a Monster Jam driver on big floors like this in a huge stadium like we have here in Anaheim. You've got to get to the obstacles and make some spectacular moves. So far, Shocker has not been able to do it, but he's setting up now. Let's see if he can get it rolling. Tried to get a slap wheelie, and that kind of hurts you in the competition with the judges when you try and do one like that and you don't do it as well as the guy who went before you. And that's what hurts him there, the beautiful sky wheelies and slap wheelies that were done by Natural High and Kelvin Raymer. So Shocker probably should kind of try to get some big air, and there you go. Nice move right there. Getting some sick air, flying that truck through the California sky. Down to his final 30 seconds, though, and you would think Shocker's going to have to pick up the pace with some big moves if he's going to knock him off. And actually, we get it down inside the final 10 seconds. The truck stalled out on it for a few moments, and so it's very unlikely that we're going to see a big score from Pat Gerber and Shocker. Just some mechanical issues, not big ones, but it looked like some little gremlins kind of messed with his run there a little bit as he blows it up with another lead. But it should not, I would imagine, be enough score-wise to take the lead away from Natural High. Although he's going to finish it with a nice donut, but this technically is coming after the clock has gone to all zeros and the judges get their scores set when they see all zeros on the clock. Not bad scores, but a score of 17, and the leader remains Kelvin Raymer in Natural High as we take a look at Shocker on the replay in this freestyle competition. Now, Chuck Warner, still a pretty new driver in the sport, but one who shows a lot of potential, is on the track in Bulldozer. And boy, he comes right after that double car stack, and he's actually got himself in trouble. He's kind of stuck. Now, he's got four-wheel drive on this truck. He can use the back wheels and the front wheels. He can use the rear steering and the front steering, but he's totally stuck, and that's going to be the end of the run. Wow, low scores for Bulldozer. It's only a 6. This is very strange. You rarely see this in Monster Jam, but he actually had all four wheels in a weird spot. All of them were not touching the ground, and he could not back the truck off the obstacle. Here's Rick Swanson driving the truck called Obsession. Another driver very well known in the western part of the United States for some very strong performances in Monster Jam. The score he needs to beat, though, is the score that belongs to Natural High, as he had a great start to the performance here in Anaheim. Rick Swanson, though a veteran, certainly capable of giving him a run for his money. There's a nice air and a beautifully done job slapping it up into a nice slap wheelie. That was a strong one from Obsession. Now the score he needs to beat is a 21. That's the score that Natural High has on the board as your leader. Again, a nice sky wheeling leap, sky wheeling when you just stick the nose of that truck up and try and shoot it straight up in the air, and Rick Swanson does it as well as anybody, as you saw right there. Of the 90 seconds, he's used his first minute, and he sails over the buses and did it really effortlessly right there. Let's see if we can get a good donut going. What Swanson is doing well, probably better than anybody we've seen so far, is not wasting any effort. He's going from one move right to the next one, and he's not getting hung up in the big spacious part of this floor where there's nothing to hit. He's going from one obstacle to the next, and that's something that impresses the fans and impresses the judges. And as you have to do to get a good score, he fills the entire clock. As you see the zero, no time left, and Rick Swanson has done a nice job in Obsession. Whoa, some big air there to wrap it up with. The question is it enough to get the lead? Natural High's got a 21 on the board. You would think that Swanson's got a shot at it. Just that the judges think that Obsession was better, and they do. The score will be a total of 23. So there's your new leader, Rick Swanson, and Obsession was one of the reasons that nice slap wheelie he performed right there. Now Bobby Parr, who is behind the wheel of Team Suzuki. This is his first year driving Monster Jam. Bobby Parr, a driver who for years has been one of the top quad wars or four-wheel racers in the entire world. Well, now, not just sitting on a four-wheel bike, he's on a four-wheel monster truck, and he's representing Team Suzuki and doing a great job of it here in his first year as a true rookie in the Monster Jam sport. So Bobby Parr for Team Suzuki up on two wheels. Nice save. Pulled it down brilliantly. Sometimes you get up on two wheels and you can't pull it back down. Bobby Parr did a nice job to recover in the Team Suzuki machine. Score to beat is a 23 from Obsession. Here's some donuts from the Team Suzuki ride with Bobby Parr behind the wheel. Now we've seen the first half of his run. Not bad. If he can take it up a notch during the second half of the run, he'll have a shot to potentially become the new leader. The freestyle competition here at the Big A, Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California, near Los Angeles on Monster Jam. Parr down to 25 seconds, looking for the big finish, goes to the bus stack, and look at that. Nicely rides it over on the rear wheels and then brings it up again into a slap wheelie. Strong move from Bobby Parr and Team Suzuki. Can he wrap it up with one more big moment? He's got a shot at getting the lead away from Obsession. That was a strong run, and he does take the lead. It'll be a score of 25. There's your new leader, Bobby Parr and Team Suzuki, and he is fired up in Anaheim, California. Well, here for Monster Jam fans is something that brings a smile to all of their faces, and that's the return of one of the sport's most popular drivers, Dawn Cretin. She is driving the Scarlet Bandit Ford Expedition. Dawn had to take a couple of years off as she and her husband Jimmy, who drives the Bounty Hunter, decided to add to their family. Well, the youngest baby's now a year old, and Dawn said, time for me to get back out and go monster jamming. But before she did, her husband Jimmy Cretin, one of the best in the business in creating trucks, built a brand new Scarlet Bandit. This truck is all new, state-of-the-art technology, top to bottom. Something like $200,000 plus have been put into that machine for Dawn Cretin. And now she is ready to get back into Monster Jam full time. And she's doing a great job here. Still getting used to this new truck because, again, not only being away from the sport for a couple of years, but with all the new components, all the new technology, everything feels totally new to her. So it's not just like hopping back into her old truck. She's got to get used to an entirely new piece and an entirely new crew as they put together a brand new crew to go up and down the road with the Scarlet Bandit team. Dawn Cretin back in the sport and really enjoying it, and the Monster Jam fans love seeing her back out. The Scarlet Bandit used to be a predominantly red truck, and Dawn said she wanted to soften it up and likes to go with more of the pink and blue design that's been very popular, especially among the little girls at the pit party before the start of the Monster Jam event here in Anaheim. Well, she's down nearing her final 10 seconds, and this being one of the first runs for Dawn in this new truck really is more about feeling it out. So she didn't have the spectacular moments that we're used to seeing from her, but you can bet those aren't too far down the road as she is back, and she'll be getting back into swing very quickly. Nonetheless, she fills the clock, gets some strong air, and rides a nice slap wheelie to kind of wrap things up for Dawn Cretin and the Scarlet Bandit Ford Expedition here in Anaheim. Dawn Cretin finishes the run up, and Scarlet Bandit will post the score. Don't expect it to be enough, but again, just great to see her back in the Monster Jam industry. Wow, look at these scores. They're all over the board. One judge loved it, one judge hated it. In the end, it's a total of 19 for Dawn Cretin. The El Toro Loco team, Lupe Sosa, the driver, the 2004 World Freestyle Champions, and Lupe comes out like a house of fire, as he normally does. He's big on what we call announcing your presence. Come out and let the crowd know you're ready to make some big moves right off the bat. Sosa known for really giving fans those wow moments. Normally, some of the most spectacular moments in any freestyle will come from Lupe. A lot of times the problem is he doesn't fill the clock. He'll do something so big early that he'll tear the truck up and be unable to finish. Let's see how he does here in Anaheim, because if he can fill the clock, generally El Toro Loco is going to be right there among the leaders. Now, he looks like he's having some problems getting the steering to come back. These trucks have two steering setups. The front wheels steer with the steering wheel, but the rear wheels are controlled by a rear steer button. And that button, once it's released, is supposed to allow the wheels to center back up, and it doesn't look like that's happening. The rear wheels are not coming back to straight up center, and that is hurting Sosa and keeping him from, I'm sure, doing some of the big moves that he wants to do. It will correct itself sometimes, and that may be why he's kind of driving around just looking to hit something and hope it'll correct. Not happening, although he makes a nice save, and there it is. That did snap it back. Finally got the rear steer straightened out, but now he's only got 15 seconds left to do something with. And the truck still doesn't look right. So some steering issues, mechanical problems for Lupe Sosa are going to cost him from having a chance to win here in Anaheim. Unless the judges do something we really don't expect. I would not think that that's going to be the top score. But a nice save to wrap it up. How about that? A side surf from Lupe Sosa and El Toro Loco. He snaps it out, and he does. That side surf pulls up a big number, and the judges are going to give him a 27. Wow, there's your new leader, and he pulled it out with big moves at the end. That's kind of Lupe's style. He'll hit you with some big wow moments, and often, like we saw there, the judges give him the big number. Well, now you got to beat a 27 to be a winner here. Well, how about this unique-looking machine? Nathan Wink and Jurassic Attack. Does he have enough to get the lead away from former world titleist Lupe Sosa and El Toro Loco, currently in the hot seat as the #1 performer so far here in the Anaheim Freestyle? Nathan Wink, part of one of the racing families in Monster Jam. His brother Lindsay has been one of the top racers for the last couple of years in the sport, driving the Iron Outlaw machine. Nathan himself in the truck that Lindsay used to drive before he moved to Iron Outlaw. This machine, Jurassic Attack, and Nathan, like his brother, seems to grow every time out, as both of these Wink brothers have a big, big future in Monster Jam. Half the run used up. He really needs to get it to a spectacular level over the final half of this run if he wants to rival Lupe Sosa and El Toro Loco for the top spot in this competition. Still several more big guns to come, but right now it's the 27 of El Toro Loco that sits in the #1 spot. Final 20 seconds in freestyle for Nathan Wink and Jurassic Attack. And as we saw with Sosa, having some issues getting that rear steer to center up, and that cost him a little bit. He couldn't hit that last jump the way I'm sure he had planned to. He will, however, fill the clock, and that's one of the things the judges are looking for. Nathan Wink and Jurassic Attack uses the entire 90 seconds in a crowd-pleasing run from a very popular truck, and one that early before the event at the pit party, when the fans got to go on the floor and get up close to these trucks, had a big line around it all day, with lots of young fans especially snapping up lots of pictures of that unique machine. The scores, though, reflect that he really didn't have any big wow moments, just a 17 for Jurassic Attack. This was probably some of the best air he got as he was able to go up and over the bus stack. Well, now Frank Krimmel, another of the real rising stars in Monster Jam in Hot Wheels. Frank has really been honing his skills, and here he goes with a nice slap wheelie to get it started. But Frank has kind of gotten his career rolling as part of the Monster Jam Europe Tour. He really got some opportunities to run on the European events and was spectacular there, and has now come back and taken over full-time in the Hot Wheels ride. And this year, he has been bringing Hot Wheels to some new heights and having great performances everywhere he goes. Certainly one of the most popular trucks on the circuit because of the popularity of his sponsor and the Monster Jam trucks that so many of the fans and youngsters all have in their collections. Well, there's the original right there, the Hot Wheels Ford, and it's Frank Krimmel behind the wheel. Not a bad start for him in the freestyle, but you'd think the last half he's going to have to pick it up, but there is some of the biggest air we've seen all night. The fans respond to it, and he rides the wheelie out in brilliant fashion, but he is into the wall protection, and that may shut the run down. Yes, it will. So the score is going to be a total of 23 as he does not fill the clock. He might have had a run ready to take the lead, but when he hit the wall protection, that ends the run immediately, and Krimmel ends up with a 23. Now here's a guy they all came to see, and look at the huge air right off the bat for Neil Elliott and Maximum Destruction. The truck that his teammate Tom Meents has driven to 7 world championships, and Neil drives it just as hard as the boss does. Neil Elliott, Max D. Now, he was the winner earlier of the racing competition. Can he add the freestyle title to it? Wow, he may, if he keeps hitting big air like that. He's up on the side trying to save it, and does save it. And the crowd is literally going bananas. They're on their feet watching Neil Elliott. And Maximum Destruction, he's flattened the left rear tire. This is going to probably hurt him from getting any more big air. He won't stop, but that flat rear left tire is really going to cost him a lot of the momentum. See, he can't quite get the momentum and get the big air that he had early on in the run. But he keeps rolling, flat tire or not. He'll definitely go into some cyclones, though. With 3 tires up and 1 flat, Neil Elliott continues to rock in Anaheim behind the wheel of Maximum Destruction. Wow, he's still getting some amazing air when you consider it's hard to generate the momentum on only 3 full tires to be able to get the run and get up the obstacle and then really hammer the throttle. But Elliott's doing a great job on just 3 tires. Look at that air as he still sails it over the bus. Again, it's not quite as big as he was early on, but in many cases when a tire goes flat, a driver can continue. He just can't get up the jumps and get the big air. Well, Neil Elliott keeps assaulting the jumps and going for the big air, flat tire or no. And he's not likely to stop, by the way, but the clock is at 0, which means the judges have to turn their score in. But Neil Elliott, just for the Monster Jam fans, is going to keep going as long as he can. Maximum Destruction. Does he have enough to take the lead away? Boy, he's going to be close. If not, the judges have to be impressed. They are impressed. It's a 29. There is your new leader. Knocked El Toro Loco back into second. Neil Elliott with a huge air assault that he didn't let a flat tire slow him down on. Ends up putting in the top run so far. The only man who could beat him, and he's going to have to be perfect to do it, is a wild man, Charlie Pauken, one of the premier Team Gravedigger drivers. You see the Gravedigger 25th anniversary logo on the hood of the Gravedigger. 25 years since the Gravedigger was first created, and now it is the preeminent team in Monster Jam. Now, Charlie Pauken has been one of the top Gravedigger drivers for years, but he's really made a name for himself in Europe, taking the Gravedigger truck to several countries in Europe and pretty much winning and dominating just about everywhere he's gone in Europe over the last couple of years. And he told me he just absolutely loves racing anywhere in Europe and looks forward to getting back there again in the coming year. Right now, though, Pauken is looking to get a win in Southern California as he's got Gravedigger cranking. Remember, the score from Neil Elliott and Maximum Destruction is a 29. Only one number will beat it. 30's as high as you can go. Charlie's going to have to give these judges enough that all three of them will put up a 10. He's got 30 seconds left. He's been good so far, but he'll need to be spectacular. And here you go. Look at him. Look at him ride the tailgate. That's what they love. That will score with the judges right there. Down to his final 20 seconds. Another move in Gravedigger. Some more big air, that's for sure. Brings it to the center of the floor. Right into another move as the clock goes to 0. Now the judges will need to get their scores. That doesn't mean...
Ladies and gentlemen, first, Neil Elliott, Maximum Destruction. Again, a great night. You know something? I don't think, even though you didn't win freestyle, which is always your guys' specialty, I don't think it's going to be a problem calling the boss out because you put on one hell of a show.
Well, I appreciate it. Chucky and all these other guys out here make my job extremely tough. Hate going out here and leading in front of Chucky because I know he's going to come out here and run it into the did. These guys are good.
You got out of that truck, you look like you're ready to go at it again, but get tired.
Oh, gosh, man, that wore me out. After seeing Neil go out there and did what he did, all them saves, I was like, go, Neil, go! He's just cranking away. But, man, I had to go out there and show him how it was done a little bit. Man, I'd like to take a little time out. You look at all these banners right here. These are all the sponsors that help make this show happen. But it's not them that really matter. It's you, the fans that came out here tonight to make history. You guys are the ones. You ought to give yourselves a round of applause because I love every single one of you. Woo!
You got some very cool trophy going home with you, but who's going to get this one? I asked Neil the same thing. Is it going to be you or the boss?
Hey, that baby's mine. That's one home. You ain't taking that from me.
You better believe it. Charlie Pauken earned that trophy, nosing out Neil Elliott by 1 point. So Gravedigger wins freestyle, Maximum Destruction wins racing. Top to bottom, some outstanding freestyle performances. Had the crowd on its feet all night long here in Anaheim, California. But that's what you expect when you go see Monster Jam live. For Scott Rain, I'm Scott Douglas. Can't wait to see you again next time on Monster Jam.